So, former Vice President Mike Pence, they've been talking about him a lot. Somehow he's emerged for Democrats as a hero in this whole thing, which is kind of curious, but also it shows how duplicitous they are, really, and how there's no consistency. Check this out, though.
As I walked off the floor, I was so grateful for the opportunity to thank the Vice President of the United States, Mike Pence, for his actions, for standing before us and asking us to follow our oath and our faith and our duty.
That's great. Nobody wanted anybody to not follow their oath and their duty and their faith. Obviously, we sometimes have different ways, politics, different ideas about how to do those things, but nobody asked anybody to do anything. Mike Pence said this a couple of days before January 6th.
I know we all got our doubts about the last election. And I want to assure you, I share the concerns of millions of Americans about voting irregularities. And I promise you, come this Wednesday, we'll have our day in Congress. We'll hear the objections. We'll hear the evidence.
We'll hear the objections. We'll hear the evidence. That's great. And you know what? That's how the day started. You need a member of the House and you need a senator to make it happen, to make those objections actually, a matter for debate. Ted Cruz stepped forward. Take a look.
Is the objection in writing and signed by a senator?
Yes, it is.
It is. But you probably heard by now that Ted Cruz is guilty of sedition. That's the kind of rhetoric that's flowing around. And also Josh Hawley, he's a traitor too, right? Just because they wanted to follow the Electoral Count Act of, 1887, something like that. All these procedures are laid out. It's part of the law. Now they're trying to cancel these guys. You heard about he lost his book contract. Some big companies will never give to them again because of these actions. But Mike Pence, they're falling all over and thanking him. But he did the same thing that these guys did, essentially. Had concerns about the election, objection process. It's under the law. You see how it doesn't all make sense? How inconsistent, how contradictory they are. By the way, you know who else did this once? Raised an objection about an election? Jamie Raskin, the drama queen who's currently the lead House manager. January 2017, go.
I have an objection because 10 of the 29 electoral votes cast by Florida were cast by electors not lawfully certified because they violated Florida's prohibition against dual office holding.
Debate is out of order. Section 15 and 17 of the Title III of the United States Codes require that any objection be presented in writing, signed by both members of the House of both a member of the House of Representatives and a senator. Is the objection in writing and signed not only by the member of the House of Representatives but also by a senator?
It is in writing, Mr. President.
Is it signed by a senator?
Not as of yet, Mr. President.
In that case, the objection cannot be entertained.
Not as of yet, Mr. Vice President, but I'm working on it. See, when they do it, it's beautiful. When we do it, it's a threat to democracy. Doesn't make sense. So unfair. But hey, we'll be all right. Be right back.